Good morning, everyone. Good day, good afternoon. We, day 2, part 2, and we are off today to, in a more historical trip. Got some World War I, World War II stuff I want to check out as the historian background starts to kick in. And hopefully we'll find some other cool landmarks here as well. I think the tourists are sleeping it off. Well, the beachgoer ones. And should be a quiet morning right now, this Friday morning. So, hope you are doing well and enjoy the tour today. I don't know what kind of bugs they have here, but those screens are only going to keep out birds. God, those are big. Got our colorful apartment buildings with the street name and number labeled on it. And we are fast approaching, if I remember right, and I was told right, the only swinging bridge in operation in all of Europe. Ooh. Ooh. This is a pretty spot. I had not seen this yet. And now I'm like living the dream. So you have this like waterway right here. This canal, if you will, and it goes down to the other lake. And it goes from one lake to the other. It's awesome. It's beautiful. Weather is picture perfect. So here is the bridge. The gentleman is not out here to, we'll say, wind it up, to move it, but that's what this is. So the way this bridge works, or as I saw in the photos, maybe it's not. Yeah, this thing will rotate to let the larger boats through. Look at this view. Wow. Awesome. So, from what I look like, it's different from the photos I've seen before. I don't know why this guy's being an ass. They're going slowly over the bridge, and just like everywhere else in the world, you have people who are impatient. Look at this park. Oh my God. Beautiful. Anyway, what I was saying is it looked like a wheel that you would see on a on like a ship. It wasn't like the standing thing where you walk like this, or at least I couldn't see it. But that is a revolving bridge that we just crossed, and it's a cute little thing. I like it. And there's a guy that's just sitting there waiting for the boats to come by. What a beautiful day. Oh my God, it's glorious. And for you mushroom lovers, look at this puppy right here. Woo. I don't know, can you eat that? Maybe not. I totally want to go explore that way, but we actually have to keep going straight. So we got to stay on task. Stay on task. And this must have been an estate or something, because it just looks that way. I just learned how to read, and before we continue on, right next to the bridge is the Hotel St. Bruno, and that, I don't know if it's the remodeled part or not, but on the left side over there, that is the remnants of a Teutonic castle. Ooh. Another beautiful park, man. God. I can't rave enough about the awesomeness of Poland parks. So this is a monument to the Home Army, and there's one behind it as well, to recognize the people that were fighting during World War II. And beyond, for that matter, against the Soviet influence to become a fully independent country. I think I explained it that way, right? Hopefully. Our final bit of apartment buildings before we head into the woods. We're on an interesting street name. I want to point this out because I feel like it's the tourist street. I could be mistranslating it completely, but it says Ulica Turistyczna. See the three fish? But so the tourist street. At least that's how I'm translating it. But I think it's funny because I'm like, you put the Boyen Fortress on Tourist Street. Well, geez, let's just make it known then that this is where people are. I don't know how I feel about going to a fortress that was used during World War I and World War II by the Germans. And they put like a water park next to it. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, don't get me wrong, the water park looks really cool. Actually, I'll show you part of it because it looks pretty neat. But in my true ADD form, there's a cemetery right here, right next to the water park. Wow. Beautiful. And because I can't read German and my Polish sucks, I'll have to read the Russian. There's 243 soldiers that German soldiers and 175 Russian soldiers that they buried here. And it's a monument in regards to that. We'll leave it at that. Interesting. It's well manicured too. See, it's like a mass grave with all the names. And these could have been the enlisted ones. And then the officers are the ones that have like formal graves. Like, oh crud. I see the school group going. I decided to jump off over here to look at the cemetery, and instead I see a school group now going into my woods. Good looking cross. Now, I'm confused, or I just badly translated stuff, because this grave's from 1918, so it would have been from World War I. So maybe it's a combination of German soldiers from that time period. Hopefully someone's watching this and can put it in the comments, because again, I know I mistranslated. I looked again at the translation. I was close. I actually used my phone, but I was close. So the larger group of the buried were actually from World War I, and then there were 7 German soldiers that were added there from World War II. So there you go. There you have it. And here's the park, which we're really not going to, but I just wanted to show you it from a distance with some giant inflatable things over there that I guess you can climb up and play in. It's pretty cool. And more importantly, a zip line that goes across the water. So you have to walk a little bit from that entrance, and I think all the kids that I was scared of, still am scared of, I think they're actually, maybe they have a ropes course or something down here before they get to play with all that water equipment. But what I wanted to add is just a little side note, because in the United States especially, it's like people, they want to remove everything from history. There's like a movement of like, and if it's something that's not politically correct now, they want to remove the statues, remove any of the monuments or stuff to that. And I think things need to be put in perspective. That's why I like coming in here to these places, because you're seeing history, period. Ooh. Scary. So we're at the fortress, where they happen to have a tavern. I feel like we're doing a movie scene. Oh. Wow, this has been maintained well, huh? God. I thought it was going to be more like the one in Przemyśl, where basically the largest battle during World War I was. This was not here during the time. So this was originally built as a result of the Napoleonic Wars. The Prussians, they had decided that they needed something where they could use like the natural water isthmus. I think it's the right word, it's the wrong word. But they were able to use this in order to... Kind of a cool spot. It's a youth hostel. We're in the building. So this first building right here is one of the barracks. And as I process the fact that I just paid $5 to do something, I think we're gonna walk this way. I basically paid $5 to walk through a park. I don't know about this city. This is the second time now in 2 days that I have now paid to go do something. This is not normal. It's awful. Breaks my heart. Wow. And this looks like an easy facility to get lost in. What's amazing is, and I didn't realize this, so as I said, the Prussians were the ones that built this. But if you look, so like, even though, you know, you had the fortress walls, in the middle, they had like, there's a parade ground. And there was places for them to train and get ready for the potential skirmishes with the Russian Empire. Wow. I'm trying to take a moment and imagine like what it would have been like to be here in the 1800s and 1900s. I imagine these trees were probably not here. Imagine the trees were completely cleared out. And then, as I said, it was just an open parade ground. Because you would want to, if you had trees, you wouldn't be able to see stuff. I will say though, even though I gripe about the 20 zloty or $5 I just paid, it's really not a bad price. Although I will say I wish I was a resident because they only pay 1 zloty, which is about 25, yeah, it's like 25 cents. I want to stay here overnight, look for ghosts. This was a barrack as well. And there was a hospital set up in this area during World War I. And as you can see, then you go back out through here, like it's a lot of interwoven parts. It's pretty. So yeah, just imagine going in this building in the middle of the night. Wonder what stories what potentially you could hear. I climbed up to the high ground so you can get a better idea of the lower levels. And again, just imagine for yourself being able to see out into the lake or lakes and being able to prepare yourself for a potential attack from those invaders, I guess. Yeah, I see a clear path down that way. It's a pretty park. They've kept it up really well. And as I look through the baby trees, I see I could have walked the perimeter, but I guess this is more enjoyable. And user-friendly, right? This place is mammoth. I've been walking this ledge for a bit. I think I can finally cut back down. There was a couple structures I wanted to check out, but it's interesting because these little barracks and the houses, I don't know if you can make it out right there. It's like, I can imagine the number of squatters who've probably been hiding out in these areas for years. And they probably have to kick out from time to time. Oh God. Oh God. Looks dangerous. So we made it down from up top to this gate, which supposedly was built in the neo-Gothic style. I did not realize there were different styles back in 1848, where they put the barracks on both sides, and then there's the latrines also on both sides. And they have the doors open. I don't know how I feel about that. Does that mean we can go in? God, that's fucking creepy. Good thing I don't have my heels on today. Whose idea was this again? Oh my God. I gotta be honest, my heart dropped a little bit doing that. Wow. Couldn't be eerier, honestly. Hey, for you Hansel and Gretel fans, I found out where they went. Oh, God. All right, let's get out of here. I think you can go on both sides, too, if you're really into that. My heart's racing. I'd rather focus on happy thoughts, like maybe Magneto coming by and tearing this gate off. That would be really, really cool right now. As we walk down to the field, the parade ground as I call it, I can't help but think to myself, like, so back in the 1800s, how they'd have their horses, bringing them down here. And then you fast forward to, World War I, they would have had their motorbikes, and same thing in World War II. It's really a little bit eerie to be walking in an area that's seen so much, but as you see, it's also super well preserved. Wow. So I did not know this at all. This building right here, this one where they don't want us going in, no entry, niet wchoda, bitte nach. Well, yeah, whatever. So this was the pigeon building. Or these buildings here where they kept the pigeons. Because the only way to communicate with the outside world, outside of this fortress, was the pigeons. Huh. It's funny, they don't want you to enter, but then why do you have this thing completely open? You know what I mean? Why do you have it open? The most important part of every fortress, I think that's the well. Without water, good luck surviving. Without provisions, good luck, right? And here we are. Let's imagine the thousands of people that trained here, that were waiting for the inevitable. And these guns, you can, adjust the range so they go up, shoot at the invading forces. Oh Now before we roll out of here, there's one more thing that I've seen. I don't know what these are right here. These little storage houses. I wonder if they were for food or what, but they're lined up. Could have just been bunkers, honestly. But they're like lower level. You know, the only benefit about paying is I feel like there's less a chance for me to run into squatters. Huh. I don't know what this was. I think it was a barracks. Okay, and with that, maybe it's time to leave the fortress. Clearly my storytelling skills are limited at present. So we got the Teutonic castle behind us. And I have timed it, I hope. Well, they had a sign, so they had a timer. So I returned back to the bridge, the swinging bridge. And we are going to watch this puppy turn. There's some boats lined up on the other side waiting to get through to come down the canal into the other part of the lake. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. There's like maybe 3 boats. And I guess that's what they do. They just line up. If there's a set time, they know when to come through. Because you can't have this bridge open all times of the day. It's a main road. I have no idea if I'm sitting far enough away or if it's going to literally just end up in my lap. But before it gets going, I wanted to show you down below. You can see where the, I was going to say the swivel, but where it rotates, where the wheel is down below. And the guy actually stood up, so we must be getting really, really close. So there's a whole routine. He's actually coming across the street now. He has to turn something in the, I guess he's got to turn the lights on to let them know that it's closed. Huh. So there's a whole process. Waves on the one lady who's got an arm sleeve. Not judging, just saying. That's how I identify her. Now he has to go down to the other side and turn off that way so that people know they can't pass. And I don't know how long this bridge is open for. There really is a routine. I would have hit those people biking by because now he's got to lower that. He's waving, go. Whatever. This lady wasn't paying attention, so now she gets to sit here for however long this takes. The excitement is just brooding, isn't it? It's amazing. But now I understand why they have the pedestrian bridge a little bit farther off, because this takes time. So now he's lowering the barrier on the other one, and then we'll see this thing move. You know what? I stand corrected. He literally has to, he's going to have to crank this thing from by wheel. I thought it was just inside. It looked like that there was, and maybe there is. Maybe that's like a backup. But he physically is grabbing the tools for him to crank this thing, which he just set up in there. He's doing something inside the wheelhouse. I know this is a blow-by-blow, step-by-step thing. This is one of my best vlogs ever, I can tell. So I'm watching him inside his hut, we'll call it, and yeah, he's just cranking the heck out of the wheel or whatever's in there. But the bridge has not moved yet. Oh, he's coming back out. Here we go. Game time. Here he goes. She's helping him. Oh, and then look at this. So yeah, so literally that must be like a releasing mechanism inside. And then manually by hand, they're rotating this thing. So look at the bridge. Look at it go. And it's going to be pretty close to us. And she's giving him a break right now. It's pretty cool. See, what they should do is they should find some kids to come by and do this, and then that way you don't have to, he wouldn't have to do this all day long. But yeah, she's just going around and And literally it's getting closer and closer to us, and I'm glad I'm smarter than I look sometimes. And then she moved it completely in, and it's been moved enough to the side so that the boats are going to be able to come down on both sides. And you'll see that momentarily. So we'll go down and take a look. So yeah, so this is one of the things about this area. The only one of its kind still operating in Europe, or so I've been told. And now the last bit of fun, there's a group of boats down there, and there's a light on the other side that tells them if it's a green light or a red light. So you'll see them start to appear. And then down on this way, you have a row of boats again. They're getting ready to come through, but only after their light goes. So the police are the first ones to pass, make sure everything's clear. It's cool. I like this. So this happens every day. I've never seen a bridge like this in my life. Maybe in movies or read about them in books, but nothing like this. It's really, really cool. Again, here are the boats coming through. These people are out going to the lake. It's interesting though, they're giving them a lot of wide berths in between. I don't know why. So that's our report from the bridge. All right, let's go get some tea, a snack, something. You know what I mean? So see, the bridge is open for another 21 minutes, which means, because in my infinite wisdom, I went in the opposite direction thinking there was a way for me to cross over the water to go to a cafe. No, so we have to take the pedestrian bridge. But instead, you can see all these beautiful tour boats. And it always cracks me up because these people right here, they're like waving. They're all excited. They're like, hey, look at us, look at us. I did that too recently. And you know what? I have to admit, if I had planned ahead and I was going to be here longer, I would probably go on one of these cruises. It looks pretty fun. And just to be able to go from one lake to the other, and you get a feel of the history and all that fun stuff, it's cool. I swear this park that's not a park. I wonder if this was originally part of the Teutonic Knights, their castles or castle area back in the day. Has to be a story because it's not developed at all, and it's right next to the canal. Thank you, breeze. Whew. So now we're on the pedestrian bridge. Not sure how I feel about the clear glass, but it is what it is. What a picture perfect day, man. Like seriously. Like look at this. Look at this parade of boats coming in right now. Or more like, yeah, they're coming. And again, in that direction as well over there. Wow. Picture perfect. Did I mention when I hear Polish people speaking really fast, I don't understand a word they're saying? Just wanted to share that part of the day. I can understand context. Like if I am going to ask for directions, I can probably get a couple words. But yeah, those ladies are rambling on about something. If my family was here, they'd be roping me into one of these cruises today. Especially if it was a booze cruise. If you get my drift. Oh, Johnny, we can go from this lake and go to that restaurant, and then when we're done, we can get back on the boat and go to the other one. Yeah, sounds like fun. Sounds like fun. Some married woman behind me is like yelling at her husband, who's carrying their child on their shoulders, and she's just ranting. Just letting you know, because it's important to have this tidbits of information. Just one more vantage point from the other side. There's the castle. I'm racing the boats. But equally cool, as we go down towards the water, which is what my goal was, you can see that this area is lined with like shops and little restaurants and cafes right here along the side. It's a really pretty area. I'm glad I was able to make the trip out here. Definitely has a different vibe than good old Elk, but and it's funny because Elk has more people, but this definitely is more touristy with a lot more stuff going on. Just two completely different vibes, but both worth visiting in this special lakes region of Poland. Like, truly. So this looks like a fish restaurant, if I'm Rib. And then you got the Porto right here. I like all the glass. You just look out, you can see the water. And again, look at this. It's interesting right here. Got some prime real estate. I think it's a restaurant, even though their signage is really bad. Groda. Like, God, man. I probably would go with a brighter color sign. We're walking underneath the future railroad. I'm still so confused because I feel like they're building everything over. And I don't understand why they couldn't have just changed up some of the tracks. But it's like all this money. Now to our right is the other marina. And over here, if you saw vlog number 1, we're kind of going back to where we started yesterday. Oh, they're closed right now. What a beautiful, picture-perfect day. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. All right, guys. Well, I think I'm gonna go chill for a bit, and until we meet again. I'll see you guys soon. Peace. Marina.